I feel like I'm in front of you for the same purposes on probably maybe more occasions than what you would otherwise invite. So thank you for your patience with the Crime Commission and our local community planning team. As you well know, the purpose of my presence this morning, or my presentation this morning, is the enhancement grant. And as you also know, is for the community-based grant, and that's the formula-based grant from the state that every county can apply for. We, of course, apply for it every year, and then the counties across the state of Nebraska that don't apply for that community-based grant for juveniles, we get to apply for that pool, and that's the enhancement grant, and that's what has been awarded. So we're very excited about that. The grant this time was to support or fund Boys Town coming into North Platte Public Schools to provide instruction for 100% of their personnel, which is pretty awesome. That's a rare occasion where the gold standard of training gets to be put in the hands of all of the North Platte Public Schools personnel. So this award came out a little bit late, but that training has actually already started. It was last Friday, and it was pretty fantastic. Rules and expectations and procedures and consequences and life skills and all of the good stuff that Boys Town does. And then we'll have another one in November, and then the last one in May. And the amount was $57,572, so pretty nice sum of money that came in to support Lincoln County kids ultimately.
Jane, are these people, are they here in town or do they travel? How's that work?
Oh, Boys Town?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good question. Boys Town is in town. They have some exceptional personnel. Those are not the folks that come from Omaha to do the training, though.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're always working diligently to get these things rolling, so hats off to you.
Oh, thank you.
Great
It's a
job.
team effort, truly.
Okay.
Chairman, I would make a motion to authorize you to sign the fiscal year 2023 Community-Based Juvenile Services Aid Supplement, EB Grant Award, and special conditions.
Second.
Motion by Weems, second by Woodruff. Any further discussion or questions for Jana on this? We appreciate the work that you put in, great partnership we have with your organization. Roll call vote, please.
Weems.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler. Aye. Clem.
Aye.
I'll
You
be-
take the rest of the day off, right?
I would say the same for you all, right? I'll be back in front of you in probably a pretty short period of time for the 23-24 community-based grant. So I guess it's always a matter of time and what's next on the agenda. So.
Looks like it's typed.
Thank you for your time,
Thank
as
you,
always, and support.
Thank you, Gina.
We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
We have a couple minutes until our next agenda item. I'd like to highlight this. Last Thursday, the North Platte Area Chamber and Development Corporation had their annual meeting. Lincoln County was recognized as an economic development partner for the year in conjunction with the state legislature, the city of North Platte, and the Nebraska Department of Economic Development. So pass that around for you all to take a look at.
Do we get to take this home for a week at a time? Nice.
Funded.
Chairman, I think it should be duly noted that you have a huge part in the activities behind this award. And you should be congratulated for your participation in a lot of those events as pertaining to economic development in our area.
Well, I appreciate those remarks, but it's a team effort. Absolutely a team effort.
Team requires several active members. Do we get to put that up in our room here?
Sure. Find a good spot for it. The inland port application, we got confirmation it was submitted at 9:05 a.m., so.
Yeah, what took you so
Yeah.
long?
What are you guys doing, eating donuts?
I think Becky will attest, that was one of the easiest applications.
Really, yeah, awesome.
Okay, I have 9:30. Next item on our agenda is a public hearing on an application for an amendment to the Lincoln County Comprehensive Future Land Use Plan from agricultural production to residential acreage on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road and described as Tract A of Margaret Boyle's subdivision of part of Government Lot 2 of a part of the northwest corner of Section 9, Township 14 North, Range 32 West of the 6th PM, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy, thank you for being with us this
Good
morning.
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 Judy Clark, Lincoln County Planning Administrator. So as I put on your review comments, the amendment and the rezoning and honestly the subdivision all are talking about the same property. In order to rezone a property, the Planning Commission is tasked with the duty of ensuring that the rezoning is in conformance with the comprehensive plan. That's why you see the amendment in front of you. That is to amend the comprehensive plan to residential acreage versus ag as to what it is currently, the land use currently is, in order to allow for the rezoning to go forward. If you look at the subdivision plat, you will see there's another parcel that is right to the east of this property in question that also fits the residential land use. And so I've suggested that we also include that, and that is what Planning Commission did and forwarded to you in their resolution.
Is that the
So-
one that's to the right called TRB Margaret Boyle subdivision, is that?
Yeah, the one to the right of that. Reason being, it doesn't necessarily fit ag. There's already a residential structure on there. So while we're in the process, we might as well do that. Has no real effect on the property other than changing the land use in the comp plan. It doesn't change the rezoning. We've never been one to try and force zoning on a property, so that's why we're leaving that out of the zoning, but in the amendment to the comp plan. Planning staff recommends approval, and the resolution from Planning Commission is attached also. If you have any questions, I would more than gladly try to answer those. The applicant is in the audience too, if you have any direct questions for him.
Well, at this time, I will open up the public hearing for public comment. I appreciate your summation of what's before us. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak to this, maybe even the applicant themselves? If you'd come forward and state your name for the record.
G. Kent Swanson, 3001 West Leota here in North Platte. Owner of the property in question. Reason for the application is we have two houses on one lot. Son living in one, daughter living in the other. We need to separate those properties for family relationships to clarify who owns what. That's why we're requesting the subdivision.
Okay,
Simple enough.
that's pretty straightforward.
Appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak to this? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing, and we will now consider action.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Chairman, I would move to approve the application by Kent and Linda Swanson to rezone certain land from an A1 agricultural district to an R1 rural estates residential district on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road.
This is for the,
Oh, I've got the wrong one.
yeah, we're amending the
sorry.
comprehensive.
Yeah, got ahead of myself. Chairman, I would move to approve the application for amendment of the Lincoln County Comprehensive Future Land Use Plan from agricultural production to residential acreage on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road and described as Tract A of Margaret Boyle subdivision of part of Government Lot 2 of a part of the Northwest Quarter, Section 9, Township 14 North, Range 32 west of the 6 PM, Lincoln County, Nebraska.
Second.
Motion by Weems, second by Woodruff. Any further discussion or questions on this? Hearing none, and then, again, this is for an amendment to the comprehensive future land use plan. Roll call vote, please.
Weems.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler. Bruns.
Aye. Motion passes. Next item on this agenda item is a public hearing on the actual application by Kent and Linda Swanson to rezone certain land from an A1 agricultural district to an R1 rural estates residential district on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road and described as Tract A of Margaret Boyle's subdivision of part of Government Lot 2 of a part of the northwest quarter of Section 9, Township 14 North, Range 32 west of the 6 PM, Lincoln County, Nebraska. At this time, I will open up the public hearing. We do appreciate the comments in the previous hearing. I think everybody's abreast of what this is about. Any comments? Going once, going twice. Seeing none, hearing none, I will now close the public hearing on this portion at 9:36, and we will consider action on this particular part.
You ready for another one?
I am.
Let's take a run at this one again.
Sounds great.
Chairman, I would move to approve the application by Kent and Linda Swanson to rezone certain land from an A1 agricultural district to an R1 rural estates residential district on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road and described as Tract A of Margaret Boyle subdivision, part of the Government Lot 2 of a part of the northwest quarter of Section 9, Township 14 North, Range 32 west of the 6 PM, Lincoln County, Nebraska.
Second.
Motion by Weems, second by Wheeler. Any further comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Weems.
Aye.
Wheeler. Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Motion approved to rezone land from an A1 agricultural district to an R1 rural estates residential district. Next item on this is to discuss and consider the application by Kent and Linda Swanson for Margaret A. Boyle Administrative Subdivision on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road and described as Tract A of Margaret Boyle's subdivision of part of Government Lot 2 of part of the northwest quarter of Section 9, Township 14 North, Range 32 west of the 6th PM, Lincoln County, Nebraska. This is the last administrative step for approving the actual application. Colleagues of mine, what is your pleasure?
We'll pause for, this is a hearing too, right?
No, this is just us discussing and considering. We had the two public
Oh,
hearings.
okay, we're done.
You ready for me?
I am.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the application by Kent and Linda Swanson for Margaret A. Boyle Administrative Subdivision on property located at 19898 West Wildlife Road and described as Tract A of Margaret Boyle subdivision, of part of Government Lot 2, of part of the northwest quarter of Section 9, Township 14 North, Range 32 west of the 6 PM, Lincoln County, Nebraska.
Second.
Motion by Wooler, second by Weems. Any further discussion on the actual application? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Good
for
to
all
see
your
you
work.
again.
That was
Hopefully brother and sister can get along now, kid.
I hope so too.
Oops. Yeah. I don't think it'll default us. 25 cents. 20 cents.
I'm out.
A little bit of time. I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee.
You bet. I went to Sam's.
Gary, you type to serve coffee over
We got in there and got to work immediately. And then it was a rush to get back here, so.
You were afraid the vice chair would screw something up.
No, he was afraid you would.
Shame. Yeah, man. Good for them. Yeah, change that around. Okay, business channel is almost guaranteed to pay all right now, $2 million. Yeah.
You know the young man that hit the ball was adopted?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good story.
Yeah.
He's got an awful lot to be thankful for.
Yes, he does.
He turned out well.
I think his parents are pretty grateful for him too.
Who's,
The young man that hit. the-
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, yeah.
Or-
As many millions as he's made as a baseball player, can you imagine what he's gonna make off all of the other spin-offs? For not only the rest of his life, probably his kid's life.
Be a lot like you.
But
Be a lot like you.
similar.
Yeah.
hey, where we at on that PDF? For the claims?
It's done, I'm gonna get some advice from the board later.
Okay.
But, hey, won't you? There's one warning that I've already.
Cassie's pretty good help, isn't she?
Yeah. That was one of the best hires they could have ever made.
Pardon me?
Said that was one of the best hires they could have ever made.
They've been lucky, they've had good people in there before too. Years.
Is that what I told you? Because I didn't know nothing. Shooting from the hip.
I'm supposed to tell you Booker is ready whenever you are.
Okay. I like his level of enthusiasm for this.
They've been down working on getting Greenbrier administrative space cleaned up.
He called me the day he was up there, did you?
Yeah, we got authorization from Greenbrier, that's all done, so that'll save us some electricity. Jason, I don't know that I ever thanked you for getting the guys out there to mow that property. Really appreciate it, looked amazing.
Turn the heat off, though, get cold out.
It's set at,
Here's the water line.
set at 60.
My thank you to Jason will be that an individual probably won't call as much anymore. That will be a thank you.
Will be the what?
That an individual probably won't call as more.
Oh.
Is it like, right? But thank you for taking care of it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, looked really good for the governor. Being out there. Jerry coming in. Yeah.
Very.
Oh, well, in December.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we put it on the agenda.
Wonder if Barry,
Hmm?
wonder if Barry made a call.
Well, no, Gary told me, actually, he's the reason it's on there, he offered to come visit. Unless he had a change of heart. Maybe he did.
Very.
Well, I don't think
There
he
he
did that.
is.
He did.
Hey, Jerry?
Good to see
Good
you.
morning.
Good morning, folks.
Were your ears burning coming down the hallway?
No. Should have they been? Probably.
Nothing but good things.
Am I late?
No, you got about 6 minutes.
Okay, very good, very good.
You would be lucky if you did.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but. Stuff where we're at, so.
I think I can give Rick a future. Got that emergency management vehicle?
What year is it?
Not really,
I don't know what that is. Brandon has an opportunity, I imagine.
I'm
for
guessing, but I'm
some
not
point
placing the name.
For $6,800 to buy one of those big
That's across the
Command.
street, right?
vehicles
She does, no, that's the emergency
that NEMA
management.
has.
She does that reporting
Yeah.
for
But
the,
why would they have this address?
There's one that's not being used, it's going to surplus.
Survell Consulting.
Oh, okay.
So they must have been the ones that put together those handbooks that
She
Brandon shared
does,
with
yeah,
us.
she does that for that region, that, whatever. She
The
does all-
emergency management.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Those were those binders that Brandon shared
I'm with you. Thank you very
with us.
much.
All right, it is 10 o'clock. We will move on to our next agenda item, which is discuss and consider the future of USDA wildlife management contract. I had Commissioner Weems look into this after we got word that there was some changes to their department. So Commissioner Weems, I believe you're the one that put this on the agenda.
Yes, I am,
Want to speak
Chairman.
to this?
Yes, I would. I'd like to invite Jerry Feist up to just kind of brief the board on the chain of events and perhaps maybe discuss what possibilities we might have in the future once our contract has run its course to address our pest control needs, particularly timely because of the fact that with Jerry's impetus, we've gotten the legs under a prairie dog control program in the county, so that would be an integral part of this. At any rate, I did ask Jerry offered to come and speak to the board, and since there's so much, there was such a lack of coordination from USDA as far as notifying us that the person that we know, the face of the program, is no longer there, and nobody bothered to tell us. I welcome Jerry's attendance today to kind of give us a rundown on this and give us, going forward, Jerry, because of your time with USDA, give us a better concept of how that organization functions as it pertains to the county programs. So, good
All
morning.
right, all right, folks, Jerry Feist is my name, formerly USDA Wildlife Services, now, in voluntary retirement. Mostly I'm here to answer questions, however, I want to see the Lincoln County and Barry Johnson succeed. I don't think a lot will change in terms of services, for the county. Billing will be the same. The billing still comes off of the timesheets, what Barry logs for time on Lincoln or Dawson County. That's nothing like that will change. In fact, you may not even notice a big difference. Most of my role was administrative. What happened was, last year, about a year ago, I came in requesting more funds to help us make ends meet, and Lincoln and Dawson County both agreed. And we appreciate that, but not every county did, so we were still at a deficit of about 100,000 in the state. And getting rid of me with salary, benefits, vehicle, and so forth, our administration views that as certainly making up a lot of our deficit. They're probably not gonna tell you that, but I know that because I'm in the middle of all this. What they've done is just cut the middle management and in terms of budget-related issues. And also, when they do something like that, rather than, offering a severance package or a buyout or anything like that, they have to come up with a lot of reasons why I wasn't making the grade anyway, which is, here nor there. But the county is gonna be fine. Barry is doing a really good job. I talk to Barry most days, at least every other day. Barry calls, he'll have a question. Woodchucks, beavers, just recently, Friday, he called me on a beaver issue. And he had caught a beaver that had gotten away and wondered, what's the next step? And so I just give him the best advice I can. But I think the county's gonna be fine. You folks will be fine. I will do everything I can to help the county and Barry succeed.
So is the beaver in the beaver recovery program, or where did you?
No, Joe, what happened
what
was,
was
the beaver got away, missing an appendage, and he wondered, well, is it gonna wander off and die? And the answer is no. It's gonna heal up just fine, and there's lots of three-legged animals out there. So now you just got tougher to catch is what happened, Barry. So, try this, try that, but no, it's not gonna wither up and die. Wildlife doesn't do that, not real easily, Joe. They're pretty resilient. But that's what the issue was, yeah.
And Jerry,
But, and Kent, you brought up a good thing. I was really excited about the prairie dog thing because Sheridan County is the first one in the state that actually did something to force or at least nudge landowners to control their prairie dogs, especially if the adjacent folks want something done. Sheridan County spearheaded that, and I made some of that material available for Lincoln County to follow suit. And you guys did an awesome job. Becky sent that to me, and it looked really, really good. And that was right before all this went down. So I was looking forward to working with that program, you know, and getting that off the ground and seeing progress. But unfortunately, I won't be able to be part of that. But I will help Barry as much as I can and the county as much as I can to make sure that that happens, or at least what little involvement I can have. So,
You did get that prairie dog recovery home started, didn't you?
Not yet.
Oh, you're working on it.
Relocation.
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 he's got a recovery pasture, just follow the fence south, Joe, past the equipment in the hay yard. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's got
there.
a little sanctuary there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not really sanctuary, but.
I know, I'm sorry, I just had to throw that out, kid.
Well, Jerry, the other reason I wanted, and I appreciate you, you know, as a private citizen now coming and speaking to us.
Reach out anytime,
Yeah,
please,
well,
any of you folks.
You know, we always, and Joe's, he's one of our best cynical critics, and I say that in a positive way, because it's
Understand?
tax money. He's always said, are we getting our money's worth out of USDA? And that's a fair question.
It's a,
So-
yes, it's a
so
very fair
once-
question.
So I wanted the board to know that you were still gonna be around, and once this contract runs its course, I think this board should look at all options. And perhaps taking a different approach to pest control and the prairie dog program that we're just starting. And that may encompass yourself and Barry, or, I don't know what that looks like, but I just wanna make everybody aware that you're gonna be in the community. I
Right.
think you're a tremendous asset with your knowledge
Well, thank you.
trapping and varmint control, and I've worked with you over these past few years, and I appreciate all the things you've done for us, and so, it's just a good time to make the board aware that maybe we can look at another option next time
Right.
around.
Yeah, and board, please do not discount the private industry. There's a lot of good folks out there that can serve you just as well or better. Yeah, do not, you know, there's no silver bullet with USDA. There's no magic there. There's a lot of private industry that can do as well. Absolutely.
Very good, yeah. So that's, Jerry, that's the primary reason I wanted you to stop by. I really do appreciate you taking your time.
Yes, yeah.
And,
Does the board want my new phone number, or Kent, will you just contact me?
I have it.
You have it, okay. And then, okay,
It's
yeah.
in my
it-
speed
please-
dial.
Please, yeah, please share it with folks if
Yeah.
they need it. Please do.
I think I actually have shared it with a couple of them that
Good.
asked.
Good.
I think Michaela has it.
I do have it.
Okay, good. Yeah, Michaela, you sent, Barry got a kudos and you sent that text over and that was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we-
Barry has been just a great addition to the program. His enthusiasm and knowledge and energy that he brings.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's-
customers are really giving us positive feedback.
Good, that's what we want to hear, yeah.
It was great bringing him on board over there.
Thanks, Michaela. I remember last fall I come in for a follow-up meeting when I requested more funding and I hadn't heard of Barry Johnson and I was sitting in this very chair, maybe this one, and Barry, you know,
I kinda dumped him in your lap.
yeah, that's right. Ken said, hey, we got an individual here that's in.
But I
it."
knew he was pretty good at that.
And he is, yeah, he's
Yeah.
good, he's enthusiastic,
Yeah.
he's dependable. He gets up before the chickens, he works hard, he
Yes, he
really
does.
does.
I really enjoy having Barry on the team, but I do have a question. Who's administering the program now? Who are they and where are they out of?
Lincoln, the state office, yeah, we had the state director in Lincoln, and this was a district office, Chris, and that district office has gone away. Will they refill the position? Probably not. They probably will just leave the increased workload with the state director in Lincoln. Yeah,
And
that's a fair question, yeah.
Barry did stop by earlier and shared all of that contact information with Jerry and I, so I.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
can share that with the rest of
Well, I
you.
already have it, but I don't know that there's anything to talk to him about, to be quite honest.
When is the contract up?
June 30th, Chris, yeah, they run fiscal year, July 1 to June
So
30th.
how many field operatives, Jerry, were in your region or district, or how is that?
At full capacity, there was 11. There was 9 trappers and 2 pilots. We're down 1 pilot, so that would make 10, and we were down another trapper would make 9. So it would be 9 personnel, 8 trappers and a pilot.
Jerry, how many districts and how large was yours? Where are the districts? How many districts in the state?
Joe, I was from approximately Hastings to Valentine West. Yeah, now Cherry County was not a cooperator, but if you drew a line from the Hastings area straight north up toward Valentine, most of the counties west of there are in the program, and that was my area.
So you had a large area. You said that Lincoln County and Dawson County, we accepted the increase.
That's
in
correct.
cost. Do you
Yes.
have any other counties that accepted the increase, or?
Yeah, Morrill, there's a 5-county corner, Morrill, Cheyenne, there's a little group down there, they all accepted an increase, but the Southern County, Hayes, Perkins, they did not. Perkins stayed in, but the rest dropped out.
So
Yeah.
what, so those, the counties that dropped out, what are they doing for their pest control?
They're not doing anything, Chris, because technically the county doesn't owe it to the residents, it's a generous move on the county's part. So they're doing nothing, and the people are on their own to, like prairie dogs, there's private folks out there that do prairie dogs, private folks that do coyotes. So that's what they're doing, Chris, is they're figuring out how to either do it themselves or using private individuals.
I almost wonder if when the contract comes up, it does make financial sense to maybe
An
look at,
interlocal?
look at noxious weeds and find out what we can do there to.
Yeah, and
Service through
if I
that
gotta come back and
program.
add my 2 cents, I surely will. But yeah, not everybody stayed in the program.
I think
Does
it's,
a lot
I think it's a valuable program. I think that the service is a valuable service to be able to provide to the citizens of
Right,
Lincoln County. From the aspect of these animals that do cause harm to livelihoods, especially ranchers, and farmers. So I'd absolutely welcome you coming back when the time arises, and I would hope that we would extend that invite.
Absolutely.
Have that conversation.
I would agree with that, and, I would say everything's on the table, the interlocal agreements with other like-minded counties that wanna be aggressive on this, and maybe that's an avenue we look at, I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But.
It's interesting, was here when the program started many, many years ago, about 4 of your positions back.
Yeah.
Or 5. And so you can imagine, we had some pretty intense conversations with individuals who were kind of private that area when it started. So,
Joe, that's right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, in fact, I will go over, talk to the city as well about the pigeons here and let them know as well that do not discount private individuals.
Sure.
Because there's some good folks out there. And I'll go over and talk to her about that as well, so.
Does the majority of the equipment that Barry is currently using, is that provided by the USDA?
Yes, it is, Michaela, yeah, that's a fair question, yeah. Yeah, all the traps, 4-wheeler vehicle, yeah.
So not all of the funds we contribute go just to his wages, it's also for probably the use of their equipment?
That's right, yeah, gasoline, tires, bait, lure, that sort of thing, yeah. Uh-huh.
And he will be allowed to continue to use that?
Oh, yeah,
even though
Barry's unaffected whatsoever, yeah, Barry is still going on as normal, yes,
I'm
yes.
glad to hear
Michaela.
that. I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, yeah.
Well, I feel bad that they chose to handle the end of your career the way they did, so.
Thank you, Michaela, and I appreciate, I like you guys, I appreciate,
We like you too,
you've always
Barry.
been really, really good to me, and I appreciate that. Just know that I do.
One thing that I think is important, you mentioned it a little bit in your first comments, but it was very helpful when we made the request for avenues to control the prairie rodents. You made some information available, got us in contact with Sheridan County, and without that bit of information, we may have still been floundering around on that topic. So
thank you for your help.
You're very
with that.
welcome. You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for acknowledging that. You're very welcome.
And thank you for your offer to continue to answer our questions.
Oh, yeah,
Gary's
absolutely,
phone
yeah,
calls
yeah,
and-
there, yeah, I have no animosity here or with Barry, man, it's been wonderful. We do plan on, staying around the community. My wife works at home instead, she takes care of old folks, so aging should be pretty easy for me. What do you think of that, Chris?
You are one lucky guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I'm probably too humble to even.
If
Wait
it's
till you
not,
see
work with Commissioner Weems.
Yeah, that's right, see what we can work out at that sanctuary.
Wait till you see your bill, though.
Yeah, that's right. I gotta share, just a side note here before I leave, I saw Chris and his family at the park, Art in the Park here a couple weeks ago. We've got two standard poodles, and our black one, he's got a long beard, he's got a goatee, and Chris, I guess it was your son, Chris, right?
Yeah, I was out there with the entire
He
family.
was down there on his knees and he was pulling on his beard. He said, he's got a beard. And he wondered how to get a beard on Chris's dog. Well, them poodles, they keep growing. They need grooming, but Chris's dog doesn't. But I just thought it was neat. He was Ozzy, we named him. He was pulling on Ozzy's beard. He's got a beard. It was neat. Just a good little family event, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you,
Yep,
folks.
stay in touch.
Yep, don't be strangers. Call anytime. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
So that item was a discuss and consider, I think, for the time being. We'll allow the contract to go as is.
I don't think we have much choice at this time.
Mr. Chairman, are you ready for a motion?
I don't know that do we need a motion?
To approve the minutes? I thought you did.
Oh, not yet, I'm not there yet.
Oh,
Moving on to our next agenda item,
you're a minute late. Remind me.
which is to approve the minutes regarding the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners meeting held on October 10th, 2022. Commissioner Hughley, do you have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the minutes regarding Lincoln County Board of Commissioners meeting held on October 10, 2022.
Second.
Motion by Woodruff, second by Hughley.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Are there any further comments or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Got that out of the way.
Next item on the agenda is the claims and treasurer's receipts.
Make a motion, we approve the claims and treasurer's receipts as presented.
Second.
Motion by Hughley, second by Wheeler. Any further comments on this?
For those of you in the audience that may be in a role similar to this isn't necessarily the best way to conduct it, but just, it's good to observe, right?
We have a peanut gallery over here. Roll call vote, please.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
By the way, congratulations, sir.
Next item on our agenda is receive and order filed the fee report submitted by the Register of Deeds.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion, we receive and order filed the fee report submitted by the Register of Deeds in the amount of $28,069.32.
Second.
Motion by Woodruff, second by Weems. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Woodruff.
All right.
Weems.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Next item on the agenda, authorizing the chairman to sign a purchase agreement for property located at 103 through 111 North Dewey Street.
You ready for the motion?
I am.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion authorizing you to sign a purchase agreement for property located at 103 through 111 North Dewey Street, North Platte, Nebraska.
Motion by Wheeler,
Second.
second by Woodruff. Any further discussion on this? I believe we talked about this at length last meeting.
I got nothing left to say.
What?
Whoa. Mike, write that down somewhere.
There was,
Is that for the record?
I believe in being thorough, and there wasn't a lot of room for discussion after my presentation. I stand on everything I said.
Other than, well, I'll add, I have nothing much to say, other than I still feel the motion should have kept the purchase to the ARPA funds, but that's just the way it is.
For clarity, ARPA funds ultimately will be used for the purchase of this building. I think that if it was any other situation, I would not be in support of it, so. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Lonnie, Brian, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be in touch.
This needs Tyler's signature on it.
Yeah.
Thought I put one over in error.
Oh, you don't, Henry? That's what he used to do.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the, did it come
It's over
back?
here.
Oh, it came back, I didn't see it, carried back, all right.
If stuff would just end over there.
We will now recess as the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners at 10:22 and convene as the Lincoln County Board of Equalization. Again, we will be abiding by the Open Meetings Act as amended, a copy of which is posted by the entrance to the room for public review at any point. First order of business is to approve the minutes regarding the Lincoln County Board of Equalization meeting that was held October 10th, 2022.
Chairman, I would move to approve the minutes of the Board of Equalizations held 10/10 of 22.
Motion by Weems,
Second.
second by Hughley. Any further comments or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Weems.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Next order of business is certificates of correction and refund. It is submitted by the county assessor. County assessors indicating there are none. Thank you, Julie. Next order of business is motor vehicle tax exemption applications is submitted by the county treasurer. Looks like we have a couple.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we approve the application for exemption by the American National Red Cross for a Chevy Malibu used for charitable purposes and recommended for approval by the deputy treasurer.
Second.
Motion by Hughley, second by Weems. Further comments on this? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I have an application for exemption by Great Plains Health for a 2023 Nissan for charitable purposes. The vehicle is part of Great Plains Health Fleet Pool Program. Comment by Deputy Treasurer Sherry Newton. All previous vehicles by organization are tax exempt, and she approves this application.
Motion by Wheeler,
Second.
second by Woodruff. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Next order of business is the adoption of resolution number 2022-29, setting the 2022 tax levies for all political subdivisions headquartered in Lincoln County. Becky, would you like to speak to this, please?
Yes, all the political subdivisions had to file their budgets in my office. So I took those budgets and the valuations from the county assessor's office, and we figured the tax levies for this coming tax statements.
Just for the record, we legally don't have the authority to alter any of those budgets, correct?
Correct.
This
Take
is
information
just
off them.
a formality here at the County Board of Equalization to do this.
It'd be nice to try and see what happens.
I'm not arguing that point. I think a joint hearing, there was a lot of outcry.
I am going to email the tax levy resolution out to all those political subdivisions, and I am asking them to sign off that the levy on that form is correct. The last day we can change a levy is November 5th, so our meeting before that would be October 31st. So I've asked them to let me know by the 27th of October if they had any corrections to that. If not, we will assume they are correct. I would like them to sign off and send it back.
All right, colleagues of mine, any other questions for Becky? What is your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we adopt resolution 2022-29, setting the 2022 tax levies for all political subdivisions headquartered in Lincoln County.
Motion by Hughley, second by Weems. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Resolution passes.
You know, you need to remember to put my name on top all the time, that way I don't write over anybody else's name. Right, kid?
Yeah, he's a creature of habit. You gotta leave it the same.
That way I'm just going up. I know it. But then you can't read the next two signatures above mine. Oh.
Well, there's 5 scribbles on it, I don't care what you find.
Okay, is there anything else to come before the Lincoln County Board of Equalization? Hearing none, we will adjourn as the Lincoln County Board of Equalization at 10:28 a.m. and reconvene as the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank you, ladies. All right, it is 10:30. We will now move on to our next agenda item, which is discuss and consider electrical proposals for the courthouse generator.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning,
Brandon.
Brandon. Thank you for being here.
Brandon Myers, Director of Region 51 Emergency Management.
So this is something that you've been working on for quite some time.
Yes.
What do you got for us? as far as this goes?
Well, after the last meeting that I was here, we did reach out to 4 different other electrical companies in the area, try and get proposals. We only got one.
Might I address that before you go any further?
What's that?
Can I address this issue? May I address this? I was skeptical of cost and stuff last week in Becky's office. Over the last 2 or 3 weeks, well, over the last couple of months, but especially over the last 2 or 3 weeks in our office, you know, we'll bid a project every week or two. It's from multi-million to small dollar projects. And we always had a clause in there that the contractor had to hold their bid for 30 days. They no longer will do that. The only way a number of them will bid is if they put in, they receive a increase in materials, not labor, materials, between the signing of their contract and when they can actually get the materials ordered, which is probably within about 10 days after the signing of the contract or a week. If there's a significant price increase during that time, that goes into effect. I've seen where on projects that we've already had, for them to take 10, 20, 30, 40% price increases in those which is just, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, but there's such a shortage of certain items. And the time, you know, we're looking at 15 to 18 months on some materials, especially large component HVAC units. So I just want to address that. Any concern that I had last week, I certainly had my eyes open, so I'll leave it at that.
Transformers in particular are of extreme rarity right now. I know that. I know that you talk to the power companies, a lot of their electrical equipment is years out. So, go ahead, Brandon.
Like I said, we only had one that actually reached out, gave us a proposal, quite a bit more. I did talk with Kylie at Halls again, and the proposal, they're standing by what they put in, said, yeah, we'll do, that's what we'll do. They've actually seen some price decrease in some of the components that they're looking at. But that's where we stand.
Okay, so you've reached out and tried getting bid from 4, you say?
4.
Halls Electric came back at $47,416.20. Looks like Platte Valley's at $120,727. It's less than 50,000.
One of them is anyway.
So, does that suffice for our inferior bid process?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's quite a difference. That's quite a huge difference then.
What's that?
It's an unbelievably wide chasm between bids
Yes.
for the same thing.
Yeah, they were given the same information, told the same specs. I don't know.
And the other two parties did not provide you any number,
No. We, the other 3,
or other three.
we left messages. One of them actually called back and said, well, we want to get in on the bid for the generator and electrical. We told them, no, it's just the electrical that we're looking for a proposal. The generator's already, oh, we don't want to do that. Okay. So the other 2, we never even, ever heard anything back.
And this was within our budget numbers that we talked about, Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when will this work be done?
We're looking close to April. That's when we're expecting the generator to be shipped out here. And a lot of that work has to be done just before, kind of simultaneously. Because like with the switch, they want to be able to put that in and then get it wired and then get it all hooked up. And the problem we run into is if they do everything now, get everything ready, then they've got to come back again to make sure everything is properly hooked up to the generator and everything, and that it runs right.
So they're aware of the timeframe
Yep.
that this won't be done for several months, they're aware of that.
We told them that, yeah, our generator won't be until about April, so.
Yeah.
So they're good with this number, they'll stick with it.
What's that?
They'll stick with this number then.
Yep.
That's okay, it's your house. So you'd be the key applicant.
Colleagues of mine, what is your pleasure?
Seeing as this is in line with our budgeted expenditure and recognizing that everything takes time these days, I would move to approve the quote from K&S Electric, Inc., doing business as Hall's Electric and Services here in North Platte for the installation and setup of a generator set here at the courthouse in the amount $47,416.20.
Motion by Weems,
Second.
second by Hughley. Further discussion? Again, just for everybody's reminder, this is all ARPA funds being utilized for this, so.
Brandon, will there be a little additional cost? I noticed on one of the bids, it says not including, concrete pad and all that, so there'll be a little more.
Those are, the concrete pad stuff is what we talked about before, about having, building and
Building and
grounds.
grounds,
Yep.
very good, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Weems,
Aye.
Hughley, Mueller,
Aye.
Woodruff.
Does this proposal, motion specify ARPA funds?
If we already discussed it, it was. You
Aye.
want to add it, I
Aye.
can certainly do that.
Brunt.
Aye.
That was a
This was the
precursor-
last
that
thing we
was a
were waiting on. Now we're
precursor
just
to
waiting for the generator to
buying
get here and work can get going.
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you for your work on this, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, it'd be nice for the courthouse to be able to continue to run if there's any emergency
Yeah.
situation with our power, so, very important.
Ask the board to be mindful that that was in the budget, in the building fund, not in the ARPA fund, so that will affect our lid.
That's what I thought.
And we want to be careful where that money is paid from, and how that will affect our budget.
So are you?
Well, then I'm misinformed because I thought that was discussed.
Yeah, I
that it
thought
was
the
gonna be
entire
ARPA.
generator was coming out of the ARPA funds
It
as
was
well.
in there last year, too, as well, it was a carryover project.
Mm.
We'll transfer ARPA funds as needed.
I don't know, see how that will work, so I'll have to talk with the accountant.
Okay. Say what? You said just now getting a bill on that. Oh. Okay, moving on to our next agenda item, discuss and consider setting a date to receive bids for a used wheel loader for Lincoln County Department of Roads. Morning, Jason.
Good
Morning, sir.
Jason Schultz, Lincoln County Road Superintendent.
What do you got for us?
Well, so just wanted to get on the agenda to set some dates for notices and bid openings for some of our budgeted acquisitions. And you said the first one was loader?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess I would like to propose a bid opening date of November 14th for the loader.
And we have an open slot at 10 a.m. on that day, guys.
We do? Are you sure?
Absolutely. I checked with Becky last week, right? We still have that open.
We do.
Simple enough. How's the fleet of loaders looking?
Pretty rough. Yeah.
Aged.
Yep, yeah, that's one of our, I guess, our biggest needs
Right.
this year, is to try to start the upgrading process.
On the
of those.
loaders
Yeah,
specifically, yeah.
yep.
Is this a trade-in type situation or?
This one won't be.
Okay.
I think we'd like to acquire the loader and then go through our existing fleet and see, which one we wanna dispose of, and then maybe just possibly do an auction.
I'd like to see that,
Yeah, I think we'd get better.
get more out of it.
Return on the condition that the current ones are in. I think we do better off at an auction with getting a price out of them versus a
And
trade.
that was in line with utilizing your department as kind of a test bed for some of those
Yep.
surplus auctions
Yep.
and everything, so, perfect.
Mr. Chairman, do you accept a motion?
I would.
Make a motion that we set November 14th at 10 a.m. for date to receive bids for a wheel loader for the Lincoln County Department of Roads.
Motion by Hughley,
Second.
second by Wooler. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Hughley.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is discuss and consider setting a date to receive bids for a used motor grader with trade for Lincoln County Department of Roads.
So that one, I guess I would propose November 7th as a bid opening date for that one.
And in checking with Becky last week, I think 10 a.m. is open for that particular item. If that's just, is that still open, Becky?
It is.
And Jason, you're thinking the trade-in on this particular piece of equipment is in our best interest?
Yes, yep, I do.
What are you getting rid of? What are you trading?
We're getting rid of one of our John Deere 770Ds.
That makes me happy, and the reason I say that is because it makes me happy we're getting rid of, not newer equipment, yeah, newer than we used to have equipment, how's that? This is sort of like the second generation of equipment we're getting rid of, so that makes me very happy. That's better than talking about
Second
a
generation since you've been.
10S or something, an old galleon of about of a 1970 vintage, 68 vintage.
Well, they got loaded like that. Blades, they got loaded like that.
Couple of them. Couple of them, yeah.
Colleagues of mine?
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we approve or set November 7th, 10 a.m. as the date to receive bids for a used motor grader with trade for Lincoln County Roads Department.
Motion by Woodruff,
Second?
second by Hughley. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
And Bruns.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is discuss and consider setting a date to receive bids for 3 new half-ton, four-wheel drive and four-door pickup trucks, excuse me. So that's four-wheel drive, four-door pickup trucks for Lincoln County Department of Roads.
And so this one, I guess I'd like to request the November 7th date as well, the same as the grader, for the opening date of those as well.
What time?
10,
I
15?
understand 10:15 is open that day.
10:15 is open.
So,
I did have a question on
Yeah.
that pickup.
So do I.
Oh, my question was the half-ton. Have we thought about going with 3/4 heavy or not?
That was my
Just a
question.
question.
Well, let me interject. Then I'll let Jason finish up. This was a situation where Jason, thinking that economically, he can work well with a half-ton instead of a 3/4 and save the county some money. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, and I think our previous acquisitions, we have introduced quite a few 3/4 tons into our fleet. And currently, right now, most of our fleet is 3/4 tons is being used on a daily basis. So a lot of these pickups we don't really have the need for the 3/4 tons all the time. A lot of our trucks are simply crew trucks or being driven without towing anything or
Hauling it.
yeah, so I think kind of what our long-range plan is here is this year would be half-ton acquisitions, and then we would probably go back to 3/4 ton acquisitions for the following year or two, just to continue kind of upgrading our fleet. But I think we do have a need for half-tons.
I appreciate that thought process. I think it's important to have a mix there because, again, not every job is gonna require the capacity for
Yep.
for towing or hauling, so any way that we can save money for the
I thought it was a
taxpayers.
very good assessment of what the needs were and from the standpoint of conserving some funds.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jason, thank you.
You bet?
And I'll echo that. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the thought process. And you know, it's interesting because you go back, I can remember some of those same arguments for the 3/4 tons. Well, even if the foreman and the superintendent drive them, you know, not all the time, but there can be times when they need to do something or take something up to another department or something. So that was some of that thought process. So appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
Jason.
Yeah, and it does allow us these acquisitions, the trucks that are gonna be pushed down, are gonna be 3/4 tons, so that'll give us
Good.
a greater ability throughout all the crews to be able to tow and everything too, so. We did not have any trades specified on these as well. I think, with the timing of the vehicles right now, it's really uncertain when we would be able to receive any of them. So I think we'll wait and see how that plays out, and then if we do end up receiving some of them, then we'll probably use that auction process again for some of our, other vehicles we'd be looking to get rid of.
Some of the dealerships are just purchasing used vehicles at premium right now, too.
Yeah,
so
I think some of our ones we would be getting rid of are gonna be probably.
Beyond what they're looking for.
Yeah, they would probably be a little beyond what they'd be looking for resale, so.
They might be farm and ranch fencing
Yeah.
pickups.
I trust you'll find the best option for us, so.
Yep.
Ten fifteen?
15.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we set November 7 at 10:15 a.m. to receive bids for 3 new half-ton four-wheel drive, four-door pickup trucks for Lincoln County Department of Roads.
Motion by Woodruff,
Second.
second by Wooler. Any further conversation on this? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Woodruff.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Hughley.
Aye.
Weems.
Aye.
Bruns.
Aye. Thank you very much. Jason?
Yeah, I think the only other thing I guess I should have mentioned on the vehicles too is, on those, I know right now vehicles are tough to acquire. They're hard to find, so, not only the bid process, but we might actually be looking at going through the state of Nebraska,
State net bid.
purchasing,
State net bids.
different purchasing, agreements too, to maybe see what we can find there as well, so just so everybody's aware of that.
Okay, perfect. Turn over our stone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Did we have a need for a closed session? Okay, no need for a closed session. Moving on to our next agenda item, hear concerns from elected officials, department heads, or their representatives. And I will leave this agenda item open as we finish signing up the claims.
Becky, the claim we have here today for the USDA Wildlife Office, that's for previous.
June 30th. Through.
July 1 through end of September.
Oh, so services already rendered, okay.
So it's through 9/30.
Tammy, did you have anything for the board?
I do not.
Okay. Are you getting any traction on the RSVPs for the employee?
Getting lots.
Good.
Yes.
Yes, right away.
It is going to be a good time.
That it is.
It was last year.
I missed it last year.
You need to come this year. It was a good time and the committee put a lot of effort into it. I've had a lot of the other people say it was just really great to be able to get together and get to know each other and.
We won't have that long awards process because we're doing that throughout the year,
Yep.
so that kind of
Yep.
slowed things down a little bit as far as the fun, but
Yep.
it was good to recognize everybody. I'm looking forward to it this year.
Yeah. It'll be
Did
fun.
you get a text message from me asking, or maybe Tammy has it? We keep having conversation about state net bid, so I did some Googling. I wanted to share it with the treasurer's office because she seemed unaware of how to find that link.
Oh,
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that comes up to wade through, and I thought if you guys used it previously, that you
I
just
never have.
have a
I've
shortcut.
never used it, I just knew about it, so we'll gather that information.
That'd be great if we could send it to the treasurer's office. She wants to move forward on the desk.
Jason might have it right off the top of his head.
But
Becky, did you have anything for the board? Okay.
These new claim forms I've created for attorneys to use when making claims on legal fees, when does the board want them to have to start using them? What is the drop dead date?
Yesterday.
By drop dead, I mean when you're not gonna allow a claim if they don't use the form. Because that's what I'm gonna tell you.
Immediately, I think.
So November 1st.
Yes.
I mean, it would probably be fair to give some notice, unless notice has already been given.
Well, they've been given a heads up.
A couple of them have been given a heads up, but not a, so I want to give them some runway to get the forms and get them implemented to their staff, but at the same time, I don't want to drag this out
Right.
halfway through next year.
That shouldn't be a real hard
Go stage, Dave.
Was it claimed, you can see it's just a copy about what the damage was to the vehicle.
An FYI.
Also, I'd sent it to Tammy, as far as the credentials for NACO, so I'll let the chairman work with Tammy as far as what's needed for the election for NACO.
I have that right here. Yeah.
Just got word from Gary Pearson, DED has confirmed ours was the first application received for the inland port.
All right.
Well done. Good job, Becky. Chris,
I just figured we can't, yeah,
her magic fingers.
Good job, and again, remind me when we expect to hear word.
Within 90 days.
Within 90 days.
We might have that expedited. So at the banquet that we had, Tony Goins, the director of DED, was in attendance. He was our keynote speaker.
I saw that, yes.
I spent the evening with him talking at length about the project, and he's very excited about what we have going on and the ambition that we have for attaining one of those. And it's my understanding, DED understands that no other community is in the best position.
The position, other people would be envious of our position.
Exactly.
Well, that's the way the newspaper made it sound, but I didn't know whether they were using good
Yeah, I'm not
salad or
touching
not.
it.
So, what is this?
But you have a strong feeling that he honestly believes that.
Oh, he's very adamant in that belief.
Filling it out.
Oh, super.
Just the one side. Just the one signature.
Oh, okay.
we don't have time, David, thank you.
Yep.
Good things to say.
You know, with that being based on time of presenting on a basis.
Yeah, so there's a certain aspect of first come, that's the order that they're reviewed in,
Yeah, but
but then there's the merit-based aspect, which is fantastic. And also had a lengthy conversation with him about attaining the director approval for the sale, so.
Now, do I understand that he is short-term in this position?
He relayed to me that he is anticipating serving under the Pillen administration. Now, obviously-
He was appointed under the Ricketts administration. And
Would he be willing to serve under the Flood administration?
He's wanting to stay in Nebraska.
Okay.
So obviously, it's going to be,
Is appointed by the governor?
it is appointed by the governor, so. However that election may turn out, we'll see. But
I'm gonna put my faith behind the veterinarian for some funny reason. I'm gonna do that.
I have a feeling that he'll probably be with us for at least 4 more years. So, anything else?